Hi, good evening, everyone. So finally, we are back here, and we are here with another class about candlesticks pattern. We have, spoken about it earlier, candlesticks in some previous classes as well. But that time we were talking about candlesticks with time frame and other references. And today we're going to talk about candlestick patterns. That means the combination of two candles can signify something, or a combination of three candlesticks can signify something else. Those sort of things. So as I said, I'm not a very huge fan of patterns in the market, which is something that has been given a name because that makes some sort of a different psychological point in our head that because there's a name given to a certain pattern, then there may be some sort of validity to it. But you really need to understand that there is no confirmation in market about anything. So with that note, let's just quickly start our class. If you can hear my voice and see the screen, then please do let me know, and then we continue. Just let me know if it's audible. Thank you, guys. All right. With this one, hi Krish. Good evening. So let's just now continue with our class. And before we start, a quick disclaimer that derivative markets and equity markets are highly risky assets. One should always consult their financial advisor before taking any decision. And I am not a regulated broker or an advisor. So these classes that I'm providing here, these lessons or these videos are in any ways not for any buy or sell recommendation. These are purely only for learning purpose, of course, and everything that I'm sharing here is not something that I've created. These are the things that some of the great traders have observed and experienced, and I'm just here doing one small part of choosing the right information for myself so that I can make some sense out of the market, and I hope that you can do the same thing for yourself as well. And once you're going to start doing that, that means it's going to be very easy for you to make some good profits in the market in the longer term. If you have discipline in place, if you have trade management and risk management in place. So the first thing is always going to be understanding which asset class you're trading in. You know, are you trading the commodities? Are you trading the stocks? Are you trading the uh, you know, indexes or forex or whatever where into. First of all, you need to understand that market, what moves that market. Give some time, give some time to it, and after that, once you're going to be able to come up with some sort of setup, learning from few people around. Maybe social media is a good tool as well. At the same time, uh, it's a good part of chaos as well. So you can choose some good information, and slowly and gradually you can just reach to a point where you can create something for yourself, and with that thing you'll bring some edge to the market. That edge, if not going to have the discipline, trade management, and risk management, is going to be of no use. So definitely that's the first thing that you have to take care of, is that you understand it, that how to do your analysis. You understand your asset that you're trading or investing in. Then you understand the nature of it. Accordingly, you make your setup, make some rules for your setup, then follow them diligently with your discipline. And on top of that, then comes the cushioning part of your trade management and risk management, that you know how much you're going to risk. That's not going to hamper your mind frame to come and break the rules of your own made setup. That is the only game in this market or any market that you're going to trade or invest in. And if at any point of time you're going to miss out of any of these things, or you're going to give weightage to one thing more than the other, you're going to be going towards the failing side. Most of the other things that works in the outside world does not work here. Sometimes the more of the analysis, the more the more failure you're going to get to see. The obvious thing is to go back and try to change something in your analysis. Where sometimes the problem can be just in trade management, or maybe over trading, or revenge trading, or maybe some psychological issue, or maybe you had a bad day, or maybe you didn't have enough sleep, or you had a bad fight at home. Any reason can be just a different thing to put you off your track. So, this particular field is very easy to enter in. It's very easy to make money as well here, but it's very hard to maintain it. It's very hard to keep that money. Sometimes you can just earn by a chance. So always remember all these things. I don't want to just give these disclaimer out before we start the class just for the sake of it or for the fashion of it. But it is really important that you understand what sort of nature of business you're trying to learn here. The only prerequisite that you need to have is your patience and your discipline. And if you're going to have these two, then you will be making the progress surely. Yeah. So try not to rush anything, but try not to not do your homework and just sit chill. You do your work, but just know that what is the process. I'll just reiterate it again in small keywords so that you know the pattern exactly the way I see it fit. I can be wrong, but you should still have some guidelines to at least start your journey, and then maybe tweak it later on in future if you don't see it fit to your expectation. So let me reiterate again. Understand the market, the basics of any market that you're going to go. Understand the rules of it. See what suits you better. See what makes sense to you sometimes. Accordingly, then you're going to give some time to it. And after learning certain analysis, certain studies, certain technical part of any indicator or anything, you're going to make some setup. That setup, you will be then back testing, and that back testing will give you some over a period of time after doing certain number of trades will give you certain percentage of edge. That means the 10 times you're gonna flip a coin, and if you can tweak the coin a little bit and can have your edge, let's say only for 1% above the 50-50 chance, then still you're gonna make money like that. So that is the first thing that you have to do. That you have to learn the analysis only to create some edge. Because anyone can just come to the market with closed eyes and just press the button and just enter into any position without any logic. And they can still be profitable. And you may come with all the analysis, but being on the wrong side maybe sometimes, because maybe that time it's not going to work for you maybe, and you're going to be on the losing side. And then you'll be like, what the hell? If this person who does not know anything came with closed eyes, pressed the button, and just by chance he made money. And here I am after 1.5 years, given all the day and night and my sleep and everything. I came up with all the analysis and I'm trying to do a trade and I still lost this particular trade. That can happen and that is not wrong. You have to tell yourself that this business is the only business in which losses are already, they're given, they're already factored in. You're never going to be making all the trades in your life profitable. If you're going to take, let's say, n number of trades, there is certain number of trades going to go wrong. You need to just understand how frequently, how faster you can get to see that, how faster you can come out of those bad decisions, and not gonna think about it, and not gonna repent, not gonna have to have any guilt about it. So it's a good journey, longer journey. Be patient, be disciplined, learn the technical analysis, but know that that's not the holy grail. That is just going to give you an edge. That edge, when it's cushioned with trade management and money management, will give you profits. That's how it's going to be. All right. So if you'll have that ability of accepting loss on the series of trades, because you know that your setup that you have back tested many times has given certain percentage of profitability win, then only you have to enter into the market, otherwise not. I know it was off topic, but I just thought to I did not like myself just repeating these disclaimers for the sake of formality, so I thought to just elaborate a little bit again, and I'll be saying it again and again, maybe every class, so that it goes deep down inside your memory. All right, with that out of the way, let's just quickly go to our next thing, which is here we are. We'll go to the charts and we'll see what's been happening in the market. But before we're going to see what's been happening in the market, we have to quickly say, have to revive ourselves. We have done the chart patterns. So we made some charts of triangle, wedges, symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle, descending triangle, and some channels and what all. And we've seen that all these things were just the part of some sort of like pullback in the market always. And those pullbacks, whether going to be a failure or a success, will determine the later on trend of the market. So we just need to see that whether the chart going to give us a continuation or a reversal. So that's only two things that can happen in the market. Is the market going to keep going in the same direction that it's going in, or it's just gonna go and make some directional change. So that is the only two things that happens. Either it's gonna continue, or it's just gonna go continue and reverse, or it's just gonna go continue and reverse and continue and reverse and making some sort of consolidation. That is the only two things that happens, right? A trend continuation, a reversal continuation, a reversal, and the combination of both continuation and reversal in a range. That is the only three things that happens in the market, right? And for that, we have seen the chart patterns last to last class and last class. So we have given some examples, but there was some sort of continuation pattern that you get to see, and we have seen the same, with the same concept. I don't know whether you're going to go back in the history back again, you're going to get to see that even the indicators are based, and we divided it into the same way. That there are certain continuation logic of those indicators. Like if you remember RSIs and all, we have spoken about those divergences of normal divergence and hidden divergences that can show continuation or sometimes they can show reversal. Same way we divided them in the patterns as the chart patterns as well into two parts. Some patterns show you continuation, some patterns show you reversal. So by all these means, you actually get to see that in the business that we are in right now, there are only one like big question: whether something is going to continue in its direction, the way it's been going up or down, or whether it's not going to continue in its direction, it's going to change in whichever direction it's going up or down. That is the only question that happens. Now, where that question happens at some sort of decisive point. That decisive point should be visible in the market, and that decisive point is mostly a point where prices have turned from earlier. So, if something has been going up and has taken a turn back, that point is a point of interest where price then comes back again will decide whether to continue or whether to get rejected, be it a consolidation for some time or be it a trend reversal. These are the only three things that happens in the market, and for those things we have seen so many things right now. We have seen uh, candlesticks time frame, that we can say price action as well. We have given like 4 to 5 to 6 classes at least only to this thing only. That you know how to break down a monthly candle to a daily candle to a weekly candle, monthly candle to a weekly candle to a daily candle to 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour to at least 5 minutes. We've done that. those were the time frames. We were breaking it down so that we can get to see how these candles are making a bigger candles and stuff, and how can we just make some sense out of it to understand the price action. So that was the combination of candles and the time frames, and then we have seen some of the support and resistance theories. We have seen some of Weigel's theories. We have seen some of Peter's Settlemyer auction market theory to add these things, the movement of the market. Then we have seen some sort of indicators and patterns and all. Everything is just to find out what happens at the decisive point of any turning point, be it this turning point or be it that turning point. Till the time it does not have any turning point and it's in a straight line, there is no interest of people. Of course, because this straight line, if it's a bigger organism, has smaller organisms inside it, which is like if it's a straight line, it is not a straight line ever. It's always going to have its own structure that if you're going to microscope, if you're going to see, then you're going to get to see whether there is a continuation of trend happening or is it breaking sometimes in between and then trying to reach up like that. So this straight line, when you're going to break down to a smaller time frame, can have different structures. And that again going to have the same question. What happens on the point of turns, on these point of reversals? But every time, as I said, that the candles are always fractal in nature, that means it really doesn't matter which time frame are you at, but because they're fractal, they can be 1 minute, they can be 1 hour, they can be 1 day or 1 week or 1 month, they gonna have a similar behavior to it that we have spoken about in these time frame classes. So now I think it's getting more and more clearer that what we're trying to actually look for. We are actually always going to wake up. You don't have to sit in front of the screen all the time. Maybe your initial months or years when you're going to be starting your journey, then you might have to give a lot of time because sometimes when you go to these charts, it's going to be very overwhelming what to see and what to look for. I have heard so many of my friends and other students as well that when they open the chart, there's so much movement happening. Sometimes they just want to ask, what do we have to look for? And that's the first challenge that happened with me as well. That when there's so much movement happening, where to look for and what to look for. Now I'm getting you that clarity that first you have to look for a time frame that you're following. Then you have to look for a left side reversal points. If it's a trade continuation, then you have to see what will happen at this point to continue the trade in that direction, or to get rejected and reversed in the other direction, or to become a consolidation for a longer time. All these things going to be then supported with maybe some theory, sorry, going to be then supported maybe some theory, some chart patterns, some indicators, or some candlestick patterns, or some time frames, price action. But you have so many things at your disposal to choose from, and we have almost covered patterns and theories and time frames today. And of course, candlesticks we're going to cover today. We have covered indicators as well. Not everything we can cover in indicators. You're going to be exposed to the indicators in your life the moment you're going to keep going forward because every day there's a new indicator coming up, some momentum indicator, some other indicator. But as I said, indicators are always the derived value of price action, so I give price action more weightage. And then there is this candlestick pattern as well, which is left that we're going to do today. So this is where we are in our journey. Once you're going to be done with the candlestick as well, you will know that you, in your arsenal, have these things, the patterns, the time frame and the price action, the breakdown of the candle basically, the theories, really important, the background theories that we have learned in the first few classes, 5 or 6 classes, the Wyckoff theory, the Peter Settlemyer theory, price actions, and auction market theory and innovation option curve, all those things, those theoretical part. And those indicators that we have learned in the last classes and the pattern that we have learned in the last 2 classes, let's go to the final thing, candlestick. It's not the final thing. I'm still left to teach you the market profile. I thought to take it, I started it with 1 class, but then I took a break. I thought to take care of the smaller things first because I could see that there are so many new people who don't understand the basics of it as well. So it was important to take these basic things as well. Then once you're going to finish the candlestick patterns, you're going to go to market profile and we're going to see how the actual option works. Maybe we're gonna go to some sort of order flow chart as well. How does buying and selling works? How does order flow actually work? How does the tape reading? People have different names for it: order flow, tape reading, or you can say passive and aggressive buying and selling, all those things. So you're gonna see that. I hope now you know what is the journey, what is the purpose, what do you have in your arsenal, and what you're actually looking for. So let's just start with today. Candlestick patterns. Now, what is candlestick patterns? Exactly the same thing. First of all, because we know our purpose is clear. Our purpose is just to find out those things that at some important point of price action, whatever is happening, wherever whatever is happening, we just need to see what is going to happen when we are here at this moment. We just need to see whether it's a continuation of a trend, if there is a trend, whether it's a sideways market or is it going to, if it's a sideways market, then whether it's going to go towards the lower lows so that it can continue the sideways market. I don't know what pattern it's going to be, but then the first thing that we have to see is what is on the left side. The left side, there is this area, and market will come to that area to do what? The theory says market will go down to see the buyers. Last time the buyers were here and they pushed the market up. This we can call the last point of demand as well. Or people can say support. They're going to be again different names. Or people are going to say the demand. I don't know, whatever you want to name it, that's fine. The point is, the last time the price were reversed from here, leaving some sort of liquidity, some people's stop losses, some people's interest as well, that whenever the price will come back again here, I'm gonna again add. Those sort of things. Everyone can have different idea because of their different time frame and different capacity of holding. So the same way when the price gonna come back again here, they're gonna have different idea this time as well. Some people gonna come out of their position because they're gonna think, oops, I entered, I booked a little bit, but price has again come to my break-even point, let me just come out. There are some people who will be of a little bit bigger time frame will be thinking, I entered here as well, a little bit here as well, it has reached there, booked a little bit there, come down, and when it's coming back to my average price back again, let me just add again because this is going to continue for a while. So those people gonna have some different ideas. So there again going to be some school of thought that's gonna happen at this point because why? Because there was some sort of left side area that had some uh, sort of you can say pivot point or from where the market turned, creating a support. Market turned, creating a resistance. So all these points jahan se market has turned has created some sort of resistance, some sort of support, some sort of resistance. These things, I don't know, if I just keep writing it, then it's not going to be of any use, but I think you got the idea. Yeah, whether these supports are valid or not valid, but market turned from here. Whether this was just a liquidity hunt to take the liquidity and then went back up again, I don't know. But whatever the thing, you got the idea that every time the interest is always going to be arising when you reach the point. Now, you can enter the position two ways. Either you are confident about it that the market is going to, once you are here, let's say if you are at this point in the market, so there are two ways of trading in the market. First way is just when you're trying to reach towards the goal. That means you think that I am here, market is in an uptrend. I've already taken a buy, of course, because of the reference of this, but I have the idea of going up. So sometimes you see this as a target first, then you see this as a point to enter, and then you try to go and book your profit, though market has more potential to go up, and then you book maybe rest of the half or something. Sometimes this is the idea. But sometimes the idea is let it reach there. So sometimes you wait for the reference as a target. Okay, let me enter here. Then I move out of the target, move out at the target. But sometimes you let the price come to the target, do certain things, let it do what it wants to do. Over here, the expected part, if it's a consolidation, let's say if it's a consolidation area, then the expected behavior would be a reversal, right? But if it's a trending point, then again the expected behavior would be a reversal. But if it's a downturn move, then the expected behavior can be downside. Depending which area are you in, the expected behavior would be different and unexpected behavior will be counter to it. So sometimes people just wait for that expected behavior to happen and failure to it. Like you feel that this is a trend that has to go up from here to continue go up if it's an uptrend, longer uptrend. But somehow, if the price falls here, the people wait, and this is the second type of trading that people do. They wait for the reference to be tackled. They see how did it work here. Did it move or not? If it had moved, they don't take a trade. They let it be. Oh, it moved, gone, no worries. But if they have some other idea that I'm waiting for a failure of making a new high. The last time we spoke about it, like a head and a shoulder pattern. If you can see this here. Yes, I'm not going to confuse you with that. Let me just take that out. But I'm just saying that a failure effort of going up, they will be interested in that because if it's a failure and people see it coming back up again, then they enter into the shorts to go even more below. Not like that, but like this. You know. So different people have different ideas in the market. Some people want to jump on that point of target where they see the left side area. The moment price will come here, I'll enter. That is one school of thought. Because there is a left side reversal that had happened, this time also it will happen. And it may or it may not. But there is another school of thought that says, last time it happened, everyone is seeing it. I want to see whether it will happen or not. If it will happen and it will move so fast, so quick that I won't be able to enter, I am fine, I'll let it go. But if it happens, does not go up, breaks the liquidity and take all these people जो जल्दी अंदर एंटर करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, if they take them out, give a run of liquidity, give some sort of structure that tells me still does not have any other idea to go down, show some sort of smaller time frame rejection, a sharp move, then I'll be entering here maybe to continue into the trend. So I'll see what happens as a failure of failure. That is one concept that you can just today learn about it. Failure of failure. I don't know. You will see that failure of failure. What does that mean? But it's a very good concept. Something that I don't like giving names to things, but if it's something for my own memory, I have to give it a name so that I remember what I'm trying to think at certain point. And this is what I had given name to this particular thing. Why is it called a failure of failure? Because expected behavior is the reverse from here. If I don't enter into this trade, I let it go up, make a failed effort to the unexpected behavior. That's the first failure. Because it failed to go up, it eventually gonna come down. But when it comes down, because the actual trend is bullish, but it just sort of failed in the initial push because there were so many weak hands, you can say, who always just see the left point and just enter very quickly in the first go. And usually these first go, usually, I'm not saying this is going to happen every time. Sometimes it's just going to go touch and move and you're like, wow. But sometimes what happens that market comes in because of these so obvious areas, people know that this is very obvious that there is the left time like last time the left side had given some up move. So people whoever is entering here are not that strong traders. They just have only one reference to enter. So might be that those people have lesser target, so that's why they want to come out of the position, and that's why the selling starts coming in before time. That's one reason. Sometimes market just goes up because the smart money wants you to believe that yes, it's running, it's good, and then push the price lower back again so that these people again gonna lose their hope and their stop losses right here. They're gonna hit those stop losses. There will be a run of liquidity. Point the point that it reaches here is going to be happening so quick that it's just gonna dip and come back up would be the first sign that these people were now out. The run of liquidity had happened, and now the new path, the actual path will be taken care of. So the failure of making a high goes takes the market down, and the failure of going down takes the market back up again. And I call it the failure of the failure. So this failure is actually failed to push the market down. That's why it went up again. So remember this thing as well. Now all these things going to be visible by the candlesticks. So why I did not speak about these things earlier when we were talking about the patterns of charts? Because charts are still like a combination of candles and a bigger structure. If you see, we were talking about in the charts like there is a some sort of pullback that happens, and the pullback gonna make some sort of like a consolidation of a triangle or ascending triangle. There will be some price action that is happening like this in between. So there are so many candles that are involved. But these things that we're gonna learn today candlestick patterns. Now, candlestick patterns going to be of course, can be of any time frame, but usually they will give you a helping hand to find out some early signs of either continuation, because that's the purpose, or reversal. And where? At point of interest. जहाँ पे point of interest है, और point of interest कहाँ पे है? At every up and every down move has a point of interest. Every time it's going to be up, there will be a selling coming there, expected behavior. Every time it comes here, there will be a buying coming there, expected behavior, depending whether it wants to continue up or it wants to go into a consolidation or it wants to just give a pullback and fail to go down, whatever. So these are the things that we're going to see now by candlesticks. I know I haven't spoken about candlesticks and I just given this idea of the whole thing first, that how is it going to work, because the moment we're going to start candlesticks, it's going to be easy, it's not going to take much time. But why we have to use, what we have to use, and what we are looking for, that is important to see. So that's why I thought to give you a little bit idea that how will we going to go about it. Alright, so let's just go towards candlestick patterns, and the basic ones are like, we have already spoken about dojis and stuff and all those things, when the candles does not have uh, top and bottom. Let me just see quickly what happened today in Nifty. You can see this. Okay, this is a very good example. You can see what had happened, that after a very good long up move, what you get to see on a monthly or a, let's say, daily. Yeah, on a monthly and a daily time frame, you will get to see that after these up moves, there is a candle that is sort of like a, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Maybe, as I said, names don't matter. But for me, what it is showing that over here, there was no up movement, there was no down movement. I hope you can see the candle. Let me just increase the size of it a little bit. So, yeah. I don't think so. You have to see the context of previous candles, and we have reached quite up in the market. This is like straight up move. Yeah. So I hope you can now focus on this particular candle that we are talking about. This is what we are talking about. And this particular candle has, if you can see, has almost uh, equal top and equal low. Yes, and smaller body in between. Right? Equal top, equal low, and a smaller body in between. That means indecisiveness. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And people then have given a small name to these things. They call it like a abandoned baby, or somebody gonna call it like an evening star, provided it's going to be continued by a, let's say, if the next day candle starts here, uh, like this, a red candle. Sorry, this is green. I'm making it. Let me just make it for you guys in a color that will then make sense later on. Otherwise, it might get confused. So, so if the next price action, let's say, because it's a daily candle, ends up here, you'll get to see that this particular baby has been, outcast from the family. It's like you are out of the social circle, and then price might just dip down. And when this happens, then this baby will be considered as an outcast and will be called like a abandoned baby, or some people are gonna call it like a evening star, you know, abandoned baby, or the evening star. As I said, name does not have to do anything. You just need to understand. Names already always given so that people can remember things, certain reference, certain story with a thing. But usually it should just make sense to you. that when the next day candle comes and start making like open here and goes down, then this part of the price action is already left alone. And when this is left alone, this was anyways a question mark that in an uptrend जाते जाते आपको अप फोर्सेस नहीं मिले, इसके कई सारे मीन है, इसे कह सकते हैं आपकी क्वेश्चन मार्क वाई बिकॉज अपट्रेंड था बट कंटिन्यूएशन नहीं मिला फर्स्ट। सेकेंडली कह सकते हैं इसे कि इक्वल फोर्सेस मतलब ऊपर जाते जाते आपको इक्वल प्रेशर से सेलिंग मिल रही है और देयर इज सो मच वॉल्यूम दैट इज हैपनिंग कि बायर्स यहाँ पे पुश कर रहे हैं, सेलर्स वहाँ पे पुश कर रहे हैं, प्राइस बीच में रह गए और वो इस तरफ गिर पाए ना ऊपर ही जा पाए एंड देयर इज लाइक अ गुड बैलेंस दैट मार्केट स्टेज इन द सेंटर। Of course, when we're gonna go in the when we're gonna go in the depth of it, आज के दिन का स्ट्रक्चर देखेंगे तो पता चलेगा कि क्या था। बट अगर इसका वॉल्यूम भी अगर हम देखना चाहें तो let's just see the volume of it. Do I have volume here? Let me see. If I just put a volume for this candle, so you'll see you'll see that how interesting this is. Sometimes people may think that this is a very big candle, which one I'm talking about. I'm talking about this candle. Sometimes people think that this is a very big candle. There could be very good volume, but if you can see, this candle does not have that much volume. It's just still here. But this short one is this much of a candle, but there is so much volume. Now what it can tell us that ये एक बैटल ग्राउंड था जहाँ पे दो फोर्सेस आके लड़े, अपसाइड से सेलर्स और डाउन साइड से बायर्स जो चाह रहे थे इसको बाय करना, डाउन साइड से बायर्स। रिजल्ट कि सब एक दूसरे को मार मार के बेचारे यहीं इसी छोटे से ग्राउंड पे शहीद हो गए। तो जो कैजुअलिटी हुई है वो बहुत बड़ी है, विच इज दिस बिगर देन द एक्चुअल बिगर कैंडल। ये कैंडल का वॉल्यूम बहुत ज़्यादा है बिकॉज जितने भी लोगों ने फोर्स लगा के ऊपर जाने की कोशिश करी उतने लोगों ने फोर्स लगा के ऊपर नीचे पुश कर दिया। सो इक्वल फोर्सेज वाज मेट, देयर वाज नो फॉलो थ्रू, ना तो बायर्स ऊपर पुश कर पाए ना सेलर्स ऊपर पुश कर पाए। टग ऑफ वॉर का जो ऑपोजिट होगा पुश ऑफ वॉर यू कैन से, they could not push on the other side because the other side forces were equal. That's why more of the damage, more of the inventory kept going and kept absorbed by the sellers on the top. So buyers kept trying to pushing up, but sellers did not let it go up, and that has given you a bigger volume candle. Whereas at this point, when buyers started buying, there was nobody to oppose them. That's why they could move very freely up, up. छोटे छोटे करते करते वो up move करते चले गए। शायद बीच में थोड़ा बहुत कहीं पे हल्का फुल्का कंसोलिडेशन हुआ, but up करते चले गए and there was less volume, less people were getting hit. आप इसे ऐसे मान सकते हैं कि ये एक ऐसी आर्मी थी जिसको क्लीन ग्राउंड मिल गया और वो मार्च करती हुई आगे निकल गई, उसे कोई बीच में रेजिस्टेंस नहीं मिला, तो इसीलिए लेस कैजुअलिटी हुई, कुछ लोग से भूख प्यास से मरे। But इस वाली कैंडल पे when they had to move, they actually faced a battle. They could not be they could not be moved ahead, and the damage was even more. So that shows these two things: one, either indecision or the meeting of two equal forces. And when that happens, then there are very much chances कि जब आपका इतना ज़्यादा absorb हो जाए कहीं पे जाके inventory, then there are chances कि one of the side of the party will give up. Either the seller is going to give up or the buyer is going to give up. Who's going to give up? I don't know. That will be done by follow through. But अगर वो follow through हमारा let's say यहाँ की तरफ आता है, maybe a red candle, then who will win? These people won, right? Because buyers ने अपनी पोजीशन को फिर छोड़ दिया। Buyers वो जिनको लग रहा था कि ये जो ट्रेंड है ये अप ट्रेंड बन चुका है और ये मून पे चला जाएगा, अगर कहीं कोई रेड कैंडल आती है, अगर आती है, अब ये नहीं कह सकते हैं इसको, ये कैंडल फिर दोबारा से ग्रीन होकर वापस ऊपर शायद इतनी बड़ी खुल जाए बल्कि और ज़्यादा बड़ी हो जाए अगर ऊपर गया प्राइस से। बट अगर कल की कैंडल और नीचे जाए और क्लोज भी नीचे कर जाए, तो दैट वुड बी सच अ नेगेटिव थिंग दैट दीज पीपल will try to then go down. And why would they go down? They will go down to their, if it's a battleground, they will go to that post where the people had been sent to reach here. कि ऐसा कौन कमांडर था यहाँ पे जिसने हमको यहाँ भेज दिया, कहा कि यहाँ तो सब कुछ क्लियर मिलेगा, यहाँ तो कुछ क्लियर नहीं मिला, ऊपर जाके हमें फोर्सेज मिली, हम वापस आ रहे हैं, एंड वेयर विल यू गो टू दैट कमांडिंग फोर्स जिसे आपको ऊपर भेजा है, दैट मींस यू विल गो एंड ट्राई टू फाइंड दोस बायर्स जहाँ से आपको पहला पुश मिला है. You will test them, you will see them whether they're strong enough to, keep going up or not. And if you're not, then you might just be doing some resistance like support was there, and then you again fall. So that's how it's gonna happen. So theory is the market moves down to find buyers, and till the time it's not gonna find some strong buyers, it's gonna keep going down. And market goes up to find sellers. Until the time they're not gonna find some good sellers. Now today they found some good sellers, I think. Why? Because this much of causality, this much of damage, and no follow through. आप आगे मार्च ही नहीं कर पाए. सारे सोल्जर्स आपकी बाइंग साइड की यहीं पे शहीद हो गए, यहीं पे एब्जॉर्ब हो गए सेलिंग साइड के सोल्जर्स से. आप इसे उस तरह से बैटल ग्राउंड की तरह से ले सकते हैं. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not gonna waste time here. I'll just move on to our candlestick patterns, what we are talking about. But this is a good point to start with, and I've given like the terminology as well. The terminology that's been told by people is called an abandoned baby or evening star, provided only and only if the next candle goes here. Then it's abandoned. If the next candle goes here, then it's not abandoned. It's a part of the again trend only. Okay. So that is called abandoned star. Let me just push it down and make the other ones on my own. And you don't have to, as I said, sorry. So that was as I said, this I hope आपको ये क्लियर हो गया होगा कि अगर ऐसा होगा तो फिर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन क्या होगा. अगर ऐसा होगा तो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन नीचे की तरफ जाने का होगा टू फाइंड आउट ऑल द बाइंग सपोर्ट्स. पहला बाइंग सपोर्ट ये है डेली का, सेकंड बाइंग सपोर्ट यहाँ पे या इस एरिया में कहीं पड़ेगा, कंसोलिडेशन देखी जाएंगी, सारी चीज़ें फिर एक्शन में आ जाएंगी जो भी आपका थ्योरी होता है पर्टिकुलर किसी एसेट क्लास के साथ, राइट. चलिए और अगर आप देखें तो नीचे के लिए जो हमारा मूवमेंट हुआ था, why do I say sometimes the market just stand up like a giraffe, then there are good chances that आपने ना बीच के एरिया में इम्बैलेंस क्रिएट करा है जहाँ पे आपने कोई वो नहीं दिया, मार्केट को चांस नहीं दिया ट्रेड करने का, जैसे कि इस एरिया में था. ऑफकोर्स ये एरिया कुछ ऐसा था जहाँ पे एक बड़ा शिफ्ट हुआ था. मार्केट 2023 से लेकर के 2023 के दिसंबर तक ऑलमोस्ट हाफ अ ईयर तक यहाँ पे पूरा कंसोलिडेशन करके तब ब्रेकआउट दिया था. और वो ब्रेकआउट के बाद उसने एक नई रेंज बनाना शुरू करा ऊपर की तरफ, और हमने रेंज देखी कैसे काम करती है, राइट. रेंज काम करती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ अक्यूमुलेशन, रीअक्यूमुलेशन एंड देन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. और अभी भी ये रीअक्यूमुलेशन चलते हैं तो आप ऊपर जा रहे हैं. अब जब तक इन्वेंट्रीज दोबारा से कंसोलिडेट नहीं होगी तो कोई मार्केट कभी भी किसी एक डायरेक्शन में बहुत देर तक नहीं चलता. किसी ने हमसे लास्ट रात को भी पूछा था कि ये जो पुल बैक आया है मार्केट में करेक्शन क्यों आया है. वी सेड दैट ये करेक्शन नहीं है, मतलब ये रिवर्सल नहीं है, ये सिर्फ एक छोटा सा ब्रीदर है, ये करेक्शन है हल्की सी, और ये तो करेक्शन भी नहीं है, अभी सिर्फ हल्का सा ब्रीदर होगा, मार्केट वापस ऊपर चला गया शायद and started going up again. It's the same thing that can happen. That market still can go up, but you need to understand this thing that market will not be keep going up like that. It will come down for only one reason, not for the reversal, but जो भी इन्वेंट्री है जो कनेक्ट होकर के ऊपर जा रही है, इसको कहीं ना कहीं दोबारा से बीबिंग की जरूरत पड़ेगी to continue a successful up move. So if it's not gonna have a sort of like this thing happening here, it won't be able to go up if it has to go up, or if it's done its part, people have to now book profit, something is changing economically or globally or something, a bigger thing, and after some sort of consolidation of months or something, it might just go down as well to check the consolidation. And then when this happens, this part will be called distribution, right? Remember that. Good, let's go to our chart part again. I keep coming back to the analysis part of it. Let's just continue with our structure. So we have seen that if there is a candle that has gone up and there is a candle that has gone down, um, and if there is a candle that is made in between some area like this, which has no upside or downside like equal, or maybe there is no progression on that side and has lesser body, smaller body, then there are chances that this particular candle, green and red, can be a reversal thing. And this is called as abandoned Baby, sorry, whom are writing? Abandoned baby, or you can say evening star. You got the context what's gonna happen. Same thing can happen at the opposite side, which is if the market gonna go. Let me just not draw them in green and I'll get confused later on. Let me use white for you guys. So these candles gonna grow like this. Let's say this is a red candle, and I'm not taking the wicks and all for the makeup of it, but you just get the context. So there is a down move, and then there's a candle that makes a smaller body and low wick on like equal wicks, or maybe people can say it like spinning tops and all, but something which does not have any progression to any direction, which is a smaller body and smaller wicks. And then the next day candle goes on the other side up like a green candle, a bullish candle. Then this can be also taken as a reversal. It's a setup that you can see always work in the three candles. So you can call them like a three candle structure. you know और इसे थ्री कैंडल्स पैटर्न बोल सकते हैं. तो जब भी पैटर्न्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं तो ये वो पैटर्न्स है जिनको मैं बहुत ज़्यादा देखता नहीं, बट या यू कैन से दैट कि these are three candle patterns जिसमें अगर ऐसा indecisiveness कहीं दिखाई दे नेक्स्ट कैंडल आपकी नेक्स्ट कैंडल डायरेक्शन के ऑपोजिट चली जाए तो देयर आर चांसेस ऑफ रिवर्सल. If there is a downtrend which is going on with the red candles and suddenly you get to appear with a candle which is smaller in size and bigger in volume, then the next candle अगर green हो जाए, that can be also taken as a possible, can be taken as a possible reversal point. ठीक है? So this is also going to be called the same thing, abandoned baby, but a morning star. So ये भी abandoned baby है बेचारा, ठीक है? Abandoned baby, and people can say it a morning star. As I said, I don't go by the names, I just go by the context. For me, I don't have to remember the name, I just remember the structure and what it means. ठीक है? अब इसी चीज को ये लोग मतलब बेरिश डोजी स्टार भी बोल सकते हैं, मतलब इसको क्योंकि ये बेरिश है, ठीक है, और ये डोजी बना रहे हैं एक तरह की. डोजी हमने पहली बात कही थी, डोजीज आर समथिंग दैट इज indecisiveness in the market. So this is a doji or a spinning top. People can like name it whatever they want to name it. I'll just write it for the sake so that someday in life when you're really talking to people and if they use some crazy terms, you don't feel like left out that you don't know the term. Though it's never gonna make uh, anything different in your trading because you can be a better trader without knowing the names if you understand what it means, what it's trying to show. So it can be also called like a bearish doji, bearish doji star. It was a morning star, bearish doji star. This was a bullish, uh, you know, what you call bullish doji star or whatever, something like that. Maybe. Cool. Then after these, we can just think of two, three more, maybe like, let me just take them off and I'll just show you some examples on the chart, maybe. Let's just take some examples on the chart. That will be good. Today we have, let's just cover first these things, what we have as a three candle structure first, and then tomorrow we're going to take these things as a, you know, on the charts we'll try to see. One example we have already seen that how is it working. Next example we'll see maybe on the charts tomorrow. So these are the three candle structure patterns. One more pattern that I remember people say, something sort of, we call it some three candles if they keep going up in one direction. They are called some sort of soldiers. I don't know, some three soldiers. As I said, sorry guys, you can maybe Google them as well. But these are just continuation candles. So that people just say three white soldiers or something like that, which is green in candle, green candle. If three green candles keep going up with some sort of wick, of course, some sort of bigger or smaller wick, but kept going up, that's a good like a uptrend. And I'm like, yeah, of course, that I can see that it's an uptrend because it has shown itself like three candles up, and after that, I don't want to see it going down, right? Because it's a trend. But if these three candles come with a lesser volume, these are bigger volume and bigger candles, But let's just say that we have some candle that goes up. Let's just make it a green candle. Yeah, so it's a green candle going up direction, has some wicks or something, and suddenly there comes a small pullback of you know some sort of, because when it reaches the top, there can be some red candles, and there again can be some red candles, small. But these small candles does not have much you know uh, body to it. What does that show? That show a pullback only, if you can see. Yeah, and these are red candles by the way, because they are coming down. Now, what you see is one push, like an imbalance, one pullback that is trying to fill this area, and at some point of time, if it reaches to this point, then there can be just a test, and then the candle can just reverse from there and continue its direction and become again a green candle. Now, this ideally, of course, you can then see later on in life when you come back that it's a uptrend, a pullback, and a continuation of uptrend. And the reason for this, people tend to say after three candles there can be a reversal if the three candles repeat themselves with no volume. That means they tried three times to increase the volume, to increase the length. They could not do it once. Understandable, it's fine. Maybe equal forces or confusion or whatever. But the next candle open up again, it does not have any volume. Then the third candle open up again, it does not have any volume. What does it show? It shows a failure to downside. Unlike now, the inventory has been given. The bull people, the bullish people, the buying people have done their part. They pushed the market up because they had strength. When it's been given to the now sellers, now you guys playing a pullback, you can give some sort of like a bigger candle movement as well. You can reach to somewhere like half of it or maybe 65% you can mark as well. But despite of giving the efforts three times, they could not make any substantial move. And when they cannot move substantially, and they failed like three times, the three candles could not make any bigger candles to the downside, and they all are in red color. That means the red color, that means the sellers are selling, but they're not getting any follow through. They're getting follow through in respect to time, because it is some sort of time level, right? Let's say if it's a 1 hour candle, each candle is 1 hour. In 1 hour, bullish people have moved this much, but in 3 hours, given the bearish people could not even take it down. That's a failure on their part if you compare relatively. And when it's a failure, then after three times maybe it's gonna go up. That will be one trend. But as I said, I don't go by the number of candles. I go again by the price action of these things that happen, so that if I see a liquidity hunt happening at a smaller time frame, if I see some sort of patterns at a smaller time frame, like some sort of swings that has the stop losses, of course visible stop loss is going to be above these things. That's where the pullback comes from there, you know. So that sort of thing gives you this sort of structure. So there are these three candle patterns that you can see. This is good for continuation. Why? Because it has good volume and good size to it. This is not good for continuation. It worked as a pullback and then market reversed, and this is sort of like a reversal point and continued in the same direction where it was going earlier, you know. So you can see these things like that as well, but you will understand the context behind them. What is the context why they are acting such way. Now, this can be given a name of, let's say, rising tree method or something like that, like bullish consolidation or bullish continuation. Because this is a bullish continuation, but the same thing can happen towards the bearish side as well, right? If these candles are red, let's say if it was a red candle. Sorry, is it too much chaotic here right now? Let me just see how's it looking on your screen. I hope it's going to be understandable. It's not that chaotic. If you're going to be seeing the video, then these things are coming one after other. So I think it's going to be fine, right? I'm hoping. Cool. I was talking about, let me just at least give it a partition, one part, and sort of other part. Cool. Now it's going to be fine. So I was talking about this part only, like failure to go down. These things can also work as a failure to go up. which is if it's a downside move and this candle, let's say, is a bearish candle, like a red candle, it was going down in the action, you know, and suddenly then at certain point of reference of course कहीं यहाँ पे कोई swing होगा या कुछ होगा जिसकी वजह से कोई एक certain छोटी सी buying आएगी and then inventory is then taken care by the buyers, and if those buyers don't show much of the confidence, if they don't show much of the progression, sorry, if they don't show much of the progression, they show less volume, it's fine for once, but if the second time as well it happens, and the third time as well it happens that it's going up, but very uh, disastrous way, then after three times it can be expected to just go and continue towards the downside, and that structure will then be again called like similar way. The way we had a bullish move up, then we're gonna have a bearish move down because the red candle is going to continue. And these green candles could not go up. The same reason, like the way we have here, failure to go down, failure to go up, continuation of the trend. So this is a failure of going up. That's why the continuation of original trend happened, and this looked like a pullback and they moved down. So this structure of three candles looked as a reversal. Why? Because they did not have strength. They were weak. They did not have volume. They did not have, the size in themselves. These people had good sizes. They were covering good lengths. That means they don't have any opposition coming in front of them. So they're moving in the direction nicely. These people are getting smaller. Maybe they don't have the strength or confidence to push themselves up, or they're meeting with the forces on the other side at every point. That's why they're not able to move. For both the reasons, either if there is opposite forces or if there is no forces but you yourself don't have strength to go up, will take the market in its original direction. Same thing that way. I hope these things are making sense, right? Cool. So this is about the three structures, like combination of three candles, and then you can make some sort of sense out of these things, right? And similarly, if it's not even about the candles, like it's going to be three candles. Sometimes it can be like whatever number of candles, but if you see that those pullback candles are losing their momentum, then they actually going to go in that other direction only, and it can be like any number of candles then, right? Okay, so this is about, I can say this possible combination of three candles. The rest of the things that we're going to see in the next class is going to be the combination of two candles. The major one out of it is, let me just start only because we have some time. So the way we have three candle structure patterns, we can have two candle structure combination as well, which is like you say, one candle at any point of time is going, let's say there was some sort of, down move happening like this, and suddenly at one point of time, one candle, which is, let's say red in color, it's a downtrend, it's a down candle, right? Somehow, another candle, because it's a red candle, then you know that it's opening here and it's closing here, right? Yes. Let's say imagine the next candle when it's closing here. When I start here, here, when I start here, goes all the way down first, and then goes all the way up and becomes green in color in the process. This particular candle can be called like a engulfing candle. Engulfing candle मतलब bullish engulfing candle. Sorry guys, something with my voice today. Just give me a second. Let me have some water. Thanks. So this particular set of combination is called or can be called bullish engulfing candle. Of course, it's uh, visible by the name that it's a bullish side. That means the trend is going to change on the bullish side. It's engulfing. It's engulfing the previous candle. That means it has gone below the low of the previous candle, and it has gone above the high of the previous candle and closed as well above it. and that candle combination, it's a combination of two candles only, and that candle combination can give a possible reversal. So as I said earlier as well, that the combination that you're going to see either going to show a continuation or a reversal. In three candlestick patterns, we got to see those three big soldiers moving up and up with good volumes and good momentum. So that was a continuation. Whereas at one point of time, we get to see even directional move happened and the three candles of pullback have weak body structure. That goes into, they're trying to go up, but that goes into, ends up into a reversal. That's trying to go up but end up going here. You know, so there are reversal patterns, there are continuation patterns. This particular thing is a reversal pattern, that when there is a down move and some sort of candle arises that engulfs the previous candle completely, takes it in the direction of this engulfing candle only. Now always remember that I'm saying the candle that engulfs the previous candle will change the direction in its own direction. That means if it's a red candle and the other candle that engulfed it is a green candle, only a green candle can engulf it. The red candle so will go down only. So the green candle which will engulf the red candle will change the direction. So it's a reversal pattern. And the same thing can happen for uptrend as well. That market is going in an uptrend. Suddenly there is a suddenly there is a big or normal size, normal size candle that appears here. Let's say this candle is a green candle, and I'm just always drawing these candles of this size and this candlestick. It can be smaller, bigger, whatever. I'm just giving you a context like this. It opened here, it closed here. The next candle will start from somewhere here only. It goes up above it, so it has looked above it, right? Did not find anything. Had to go up only because the trend is up, right? Sorry. Had to go up only because the trend is up. So it did its part, it did its duty to go up, but could not find anything, could not go follow through, gone below the point of its own open, and started its journey towards the downside, and could not even stop by the origin of it, even gone lower. You know, that means now the sellers, now the sellers have looked above and had ended up below and engulfed the previous green candle. That means this particular part, it's like there was a guru and the student actually gone above it. The guru was trying to send them in one direction and the student goes above it. Look there, you're like, oh, the teacher is showing the area of that side, they'll be fine, but there's nothing over here. They explored it, explored the area even where the guru even has not reached, did not find anything over there. It's like you're trying to look above the capacity of this candle, could not find anything, because they did not find anything or any reason to continue the journey, because they may be having a binocular and they can see over the mountains. This person could not see over the mountains. So these people go above him, see the above the mountains so that there is nothing over there, comes down, and now if closes even below it, that means इनका जो रीजन था स्टार्ट करने का जर्नी वो ये था, यहाँ से इनकी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई थी। अगर ये इनके रीजन से भी, जो प्रीवियस कैंडल का रीजन था उससे भी नीचे चले गए, that means that's a very bad thing for this uptrend. And then mostly, not always, mostly this gonna continue a reversal. It's gonna end up into a continuation of reversal. So contradictory, counter words to each other. But this is a reversal pattern. The trend is now changing. Why? Because it has seen there's nothing upside, there's no upside. It has given a follow through as a result. The next candle will not try to go up. Sort of like a rejection happened. And why do I like these things? I love these things more than the chart patterns. I love these candlesticks interaction. Why? Let me just, and these things are same only, by the way. These two things, right? This and this, it just direction is different. So this is can be called as a bearish engulfing candle, engulfing candle. And as I said, I don't remember the names. Yes, there is a bearish engulfing candle. What's important for me is, I'll show you again right now. This is bullish engulfing, taking the trend to the bullish side after a down move. This is a bearish engulfing candle. In an uptrend, bearish engulfing comes and takes the move to the downside. That's why bearish engulfing the previous candle. Cool. Now, what I'm trying to say, why I like these things more, because if you remember our candlesticks and higher time frame combination, when we are breaking down the candlesticks, then you remember the movement, the way we can break down the candles. That maybe this is a 4 hour candle, and if this is, I hope you remember this example. I started with this only in the starting. If this is the open, this is the close, this is the high, this is the low, then and if it's a 4 hour candle, let's say if it's going up, you know and it's a green candle, that means then the breakdown of it can be of any shape, but usually it, whatever shape it has, if it has this shape, this is the open for the first candle, it closes from the here. It can have the second candle as well going there. Yeah, it may have a down candle afterwards. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And it may have the fourth candle going up all the way up here. It has already tested. So it can be whatever structure. I just made a random structure. It does not have to be the same structure. It can have any possible structure in the world. But I'm just trying to say, this is green up move, suddenly a red move comes down, takes the candles down, and from there it goes back up again. A green candle. The way we can just break down the structure as open and as close in the highs and the lows, the same way we can combine the structure as well. If I have to combine these things, this is a breakdown of 4 hour candle into 1 hour candle. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 4 candles. The same way, if I have to combine these candles, let's say these are two candles of 1 hour each, then what shape do you get on a 2 hour time frame? I hope I haven't lost you. Let me just clear it out and make it even simpler. So this is one candle which has a wick on top, a wick on bottom, whichever way, chota bada kaisa bhi. And this is let's say a green candle, and suddenly a red candles appear on the top of it. As I said, this candle has tested the above it. It should be able to test above this, okay? If it has not tested above it and has just gone there, then it's not cleared for bearish engulfing. And then after testing it, closed below it. That means it's completely engulfed the whole experience of this particular candle. अब इस कैंडल के पास ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है, इसने ऊपर भी देख लिया, इसने नीचे भी देख लिया, तो इसके पास ज़्यादा अच्छा इन्फॉर्मेशन है, like that. So this candle is now probably a red candle because this is trying to go up. This is its open, low, close, high. This started its journey because यहाँ पे close हुई है ये वाली candle, तो ये वाली candle यहाँ से हुई open, tried to go up high, but could not go up high, made a low and close somewhere here. If I had to combine these candles, where will be the first open? You got the idea. This is the open, right? So this is the open. Where did it close? It closed here. This is the close. This is the open. Let me write it. This is the open. So these are 1 hour and 1 hour, and this is a 2 hour. I'm combining these two. So the open was here at this level. The close happened of the second hour at this level, and the tail is the sorry, don't happen at this level. And the tail that you see in दोनों घंटों में जो सबसे highest point था वो ये था. So the high is this, and the low is this. Close is this. आपको चारों पॉइंट मिल जाएगी. Now when I just draw this up and draw this down, what you get to see is a rejection candle. And I love rejection candles. When there's a rejection, that means price tried to go up, could not sustain that and come down. This is a rejection candle at 2 hour, and it also a red candle. That means in the up move, suddenly प्राइस ऊपर गया और क्लोज भी नीचे होके आ गया and then it ended up here, there are very much chances that the next candle should be continuing down. May they come here and test these things and touch these spots, but should not come and close now in this area. That is my idea. Now they don't have any work here. Why? Because this red candle has taken the experience. Now there's nothing upside. So why do you want to go upside? So when there is nothing on upside, so you should not be closing here. And if that does not happen, only if this does not happen. If this happens, then it's not a rejection candle, and people are gonna go through it and continuation of the trend will happen. But if that does not happen, and the next candle starts moving the downside with some momentum and all, and reaching where, reaching to some other point of interest, जहाँ पे भी कोई लो होगा, पॉइंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट की हमने बात करी थी, जहाँ पे भी कोई स्विंग बन के आया होगा, that means that is the next station. That means you have got the confirmation to enter and your stop loss should be just above this कि कोई इसके अंदर ना जाए. और अगर अंदर जाए तो मैं एंटर ही यहाँ पे करूँगा. पहली बार आप टेस्ट करना है, मैं टेस्ट करने पे देखो आपका फॉलो थ्रू और स्मॉलर टाइम फ्रेम पे जा करके एंटर करें और देन यू हैव दिस होल डाउन साइड टू गो डाउन बिकॉज द नेक्स्ट जर्नी इज टू द डाउन साइड. And then there is a name for this as well. People call it like inverted hammer or some sort of like shooting star. I don't know what all. This is, yeah. Usually क्या होगा कि later on in life you will get to see all these things happening and at the tip of it you'll see this rejection candle and then the trend change. So people क्या करना शुरू कर देते हैं, people इसे ढूंढना शुरू कर देते हैं कि where will I see this. The idea is not to spot the candle which has this structure. The idea is to when the structure has happened, what happens to the next candle. If the next candle does not allow itself to go here and give a follow through to the downside, then is the round move. That is the only thing. I hope that makes sense. Well, with that note, I'll finish this class and I'll show you that these are very interesting concepts now. So you get to understand that the patterns in itself, either if it's a chart pattern or candlestick patterns, are not necessarily to be mugged up by the names. But if you understand the what's happening inside it, what does this structure tells you? What is the story behind it? चल क्या रहा है? उसकी वजह से वो शो क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहा है? If you understand that, then you actually don't have to remember the names. I also don't remember sometimes most of the names. Truly, honestly. And if I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't remember the names, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I'm gonna show you. I just have like these things written down on a piece of paper. That okay, I have to do my homework before I'm gonna teach you guys. I need to remember the names. I don't know most of the names myself because they are not necessary for me. But I understand the basic idea when they do this behavior. What does it mean? And if you also know that, then that's going to be a good thing for your trading, and you know how to trade about these things. All right. Surely, with that note, I'll finish this class, and I hope this gonna be adding something to you. And I hope you remember the first part of the class that we have spoken. I had given like good 20 minutes in that only because that was not for a waste. That was important so that you understand in your journey what is your objective. Your objective is to find first of all the point of interest. That means the ups and downs of the market. Every up and down would be some sort of resistance and support, and what price does when you reach that support or resistance is either you're gonna respect it to revert or you're gonna not respect it to continue. That means a continuation or a reversal, and that we try to find out with all sorts of these candlestick patterns, chart patterns, theories, structures, indicators, everything. ठीक है, तो यही सिर्फ दो चीजें जो आप मार्केट में देखने की कोशिश करते हैं और इसी के अराउंड अपने एज बना रहे हैं. Cool. With that note, let's finish this class, and tomorrow we're gonna continue the rest of some of the concepts of two candlestick structures, and we'll take some examples in the market. With that note, I'll finish this class, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Go in the charts and find out these structures for yourself as well. You can do that if you have enough information. I think. Yes. All right, guys. Do your part, and I'll see you in the next class. Take care. Good night.